Tapa shraddheyeshu papasantyaranye shanta vidvamso bhaikṣacharyam charantaha suryadvarena te virajah prayanti yatramrita sapurusho havyayatma. Tapa shraddheyeshu papasantyaranye shanta vidvamso bhaikṣacharyam charantaha suryadvarena te virajah prayanti yatramrita te purusho havyayatma. This is a clear shift in the stance of what the message is from the 10th to this. As I said, he's preparing now for the Jnana Kanda, which is to come in the next section. 11, 12, 13 brings that paradigm shift. So here he says, verily those who reside in the forests, aranye, upavasanti, aranye, those who reside in the forests, what do they do? Tapah shraddhe, practicing tapas, which means austerity, and shraddha, which is consistent faith, who are shantam, who are peaceful, learned, and living on alms. Bhaikṣacharyam. Bhaikṣacharyam means living on alms. They are very learned, vidvamsaha, very learned. They purged of impurities. Viraja. Viraja means purged of impurities, passed through the path of the sun to where indeed that immortal, imperishable Brahman is. Avyayatma. Amruta, avyayatma. Amruta, immortal. Avyayatma, imperishable Purusha, being. So the 10th mantra is the path of the moon. The 11th mantra is the path of the sun. So what are these people doing? They reside in the forests. Residing in the forests symbolizes an attitude of total detachment. Opposite of that is the samsara that you have built or you create for yourself, being in the marketplace. But that does not necessarily mean that you have to abandon or let go or renounce them physically. But yet, you want to really see, renunciation is an attitude, but it is practiced with physical parting. So don't justify yourself. Oh, it is an attitude, so how does it matter I possess it or not? Don't get trapped in that philosophical arguments. If you truly have no value for it, you will not be interested in it, you will not be in it. Oh, detached, I am very detached. How does it matter? Pushpama. Yogarato va, bhogarato va, sangharato va, sanghavihinaha. How does it matter whether I'm in yoga or bhoga? It doesn't matter, no? Oh, my thoughts are always in Brahman. Therefore, where am I? I'm in the pub. I'm in the marketplace. I'm in the world. Why? My mind is on Brahman. So how does it matter where am I? Let us not use that argument to justify ourselves. That is only meant for one who is established in Brahman. Yasya Brahmani ramate chittam. Can you guarantee your mind is not dislodged from the self? Then it doesn't matter. But one who is not anchored himself on truth, he has to be very mindful. So where is he? Detached from the marketplace. He will not find, he'll not be found in the marketplace. He'll not be found amidst the sense objects. He will not be found lingering in the world which can feed his senses. Nah, he's not there. Where is he? He is there, Aranya. Aranya means where you are not feeding your senses. You are living a life of abstinence. That's what it means. You're not leading a life of indulgence where in the marketplace the senses are fed. You walk into a mall or into the world where your every sense is fed. Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. Aranya, nothing is fed or very minimal stimuli. Nothing to distract you. So living a life of forest life. Okay, you do what? I'm camping in the forest, sir. Huh? You don't camp in the forest. You don't carry your caravan into a forest and say, I camp in the forest. No, they are practicing tapah and shraddha. Tapas is, what is tapas? Tapas entails two essential elements. Tapas is conserving your energy and redirecting it to the higher. And that is the base requirement of a spiritual seeker. If you're not doing tapas, you're like chalk which appears like cheese. You're a fake sannyasi who looks more real than real. Sometimes these fake products appear more real than the real product. Artificial flowers, if you've seen, they look so perfect. Even the real flowers are not that perfect. But the artificial flowers are so perfect, sometimes you doubt, is it really real? And you're sure it's not real at all. It's artificial. So the real quality of a spiritual seeker is to do tapas. Tapas is the base requirement. If you can't do tapas, as I said, that's why I said, he's giving you the preparation for the Jnana Kanda. Okay, don't you all see the shift from the ritualistic part to here, the difference, the Jnanam? So they are in the forests practicing tapas with full of shraddha, consistent, constant faith in the pursuit, who are peaceful, means mentally they are at rest, nothing concerning them. There's no insecurity in their lives. I don't have this. What about that? I am not insured. What is the worry for a fellow who is in the forest? What insurance is talking about? Have I not renewed my this? Have I not got my agreement from my tenant? Will he going to pay my rent? Will I get my this? Nothing worry. There is no worry. Shantam. All the problem is because you have acquired. If you fellows have not acquired, you will have no problem. All your life, you are struggling with insecurity to protect your acquisitions. You can't part with it because you're so attached to it. You will not, and you will have to suffer with it. You will suffer without it. This is a problem of attachment. Can you all not enjoy the bliss of renunciation? Let go of it and see what joy that gives you. Oh no, how come? I have acquired it. I have struggled it. And now I've got into some litigation with it. I must get out of it. What attachment you're caught up in. If at all I give, I'll give to my kith and kin, nobody else. That is guaranteed. On my death, it will only go to them. Where will there be peace in that kind of a mindset? Tell me. A fellow who is detached, practice it physically and then practice it mentally. It has to be practiced physically first, then applied to the mental level. They are peaceful, vidwan. They are very learned people. They live on alms, bhiksha. I have to inaugurate that bowl, Rajima. Where are you? We have not inaugurated that bowl. You know, when we went to Pragat the other day for the retreat, always I was GBK Raoji. I remember first when we met a few years ago, he had told that there is this tree called Kamandalu tree. And they have the fruits, which ripe is fairly big size, and those fruits, after they are dried, they can be either cut vertically or horizontally based on what you need them for. And if it's cut vertically, it becomes a bhiksha bowl. Lakshmi Ma, you forgot your bhiksha bowl here. So still, I see that, I remember you.
Yeah, not ready to take the diksha ball yet, Guruji. When I'm ready, I'll come and collect it.
It will be kept reserved for you here. So, living on alms. What does it mean, living on alms? Harish, can you tell me what does it symbolize, living on alms?
Guruji, it means living on the bare necessities or the bare minimum. Just living accepting whatever is given on that day.
Opposite of that is?
Living indulgently, the opposite.
I can indulge in what I've got also, no?
Yeah, correct.
Oh, somebody has given me aloo paratha for bhiksha. I always got old rotis which are left over to give me. Today they made hot parathas and given me. What bhiksha? What bhiksha? Let me indulge. Okay? Then you can indulge in bhiksha also. Not that. What does saying living on alms mean? It only suggests. Yes, Setuji. What does it suggest, Setuji?
Egoless.
Egoless. What else?
Accepting whatever comes. If bhiksha comes, fine. In Buddhist culture, actually, they very first house they go, if they offer, they eat it. Otherwise, they don't take. They don't go to another house.
Oh, is it so?
Huh? Yeah.
Is that so?
In some category in Thailand, they practice. So they go to some house, whatever is offered, they have it. And many of them know, they do come and they offer, but for some reason there is no offering. That day they fast.
They fast. Amazing. In fact, talking of it, I'm reminded of one of the richest Malaysians, Indians. In fact, he is the owner of also the Twin Towers, the famous Twin Towers in Malaysia. He is Ananta Krishnan. Am I right? Ananta Krishnan, his only son. He has got a billionaire, billion dollar empire he's got, and his only son renounced his business and he took up a monk. He became a monk in Thailand. Right, US? It came in the news when I was there, but it came as a shock to everybody. Only son, got one of the richest Malaysians, one of the richest in the world, and his only son gave up all that and he became a monk, living on alms, bhiksha. Talk of the town. Or you can just splurge your money and all that money can buy. Fly in Boeing, chartered planes, private chartered planes. You live in the best of palaces that your money can buy. The best cars, everything is coated with gold and platinum. Or you can just live on alms. So a person who lives on alms means he is not running behind the world and his desires. He renounced his desires and all the desired objects. Living on alms means he is not chasing his desires nor interested in the desired objects, which his desires can get. So it's not that he's already reached a state of desirelessness. If you have reached a state of desirelessness, you attain Brahman. But the fact that you choose not to pursue your desires, I may have X amount of desires, but I choose to live on Bhiksha. I am not trying to feed my desires. So either I feed my desire or live on Bhiksha. Means I don't want to pursue my desire. That's what it means. Living on alms means I don't want to chase my desires and acquire. I will live on providence. Whatever comes, I'm happy with that. That's not tamasic at all, please. Huh? And if you do all that is said, what is it? Live in the forest. 1, practice austerity. 2, tapas. 3, keep shraddha. 4, you remain peaceful. 5, you are vidwan, you are learned. Point 6, you live on alms. If you qualify to all these 6 categories in one line, when in one line he's spelled it out all, what will happen? They are purged of impurities. What are the impurities here he's talking about? Impurities in the form of your vasanas and desires. There is no impurity, no mala. They pass through the path of the sun to where indeed that immortal, imperishable being is. Now, the path of the sun is giving us the path known as Krama Mukti. Krama Mukti means liberation in stages. So the seeker here, he performs selfless work, understood? But along with that selfless work, he also performs little blemished, unselfish karma also. He performs some unselfish work. So they pass through the path of the sun. That's what it means. He goes through that path of the sun is a heavenly experience. And then they reach the imperishable, immortal being, which is self-realization. So this path is known as liberation in stages. But the Shastras recommend us what is known as Sadhyo Mukti. Sadhyo, Sadhyo Mukti, which is the direct path to liberation. Sadhyo Mukti, the direct path to liberation, is also known as Kaivalya Mukti. Kaivalya Mukti is when you perform only selfless actions. The Shastras recommend that, but here in this mantra, the Guru is talking about the path of the sun, which is where you perform unselfish work, you enjoy heaven, and then you reach the heavenly, having exhausted heavenly abode, you go to selfless, go to self-realization, moksha, immortal state. In the path of the moon, Gayatri Ma, what is the difference between the path of the moon and the path of the sun?
Path of the moon is you come back to this cycle of birth and death. And
After exhausting your punya.
Punya.
And path of the sun?
No return, self-realization.
After what?
After the tapas and all the austerities, exhausting of the vasanas.
No, see, because you have practiced tapas and austerity, you are transported to self-realization. But in between, you perform some unselfish work, which acquires punya, he says, which is the path of the sun. So you exhaust that punya and you're transported to self-realization. So your self-realization is actually delayed because of some punya you accrued. Unnecessary delay. But better than that is sadhyo mukti or kaivalya mukti, where there is no delay in moksha, there is no punya at all, direct liberation. You get directly to the self. 3 parts. Path of return, which is the path of the moon. The path of the sun is referred to liberation in stages, and kaivalya mukti is direct liberation. So these 3 parts the scriptures are talking about. So the 6 qualities he gives in this mantra, the impurities are get purged. So as a sadhak, you must focus on all these: detachment, austerity, consistent faith, to remain peaceful, to always be learned in the shastras, and then you must live on alms, means don't chase your desire and desired objects. You do this, your impurities are purged.